This girl gets pregnant by a rich boss after he promises her marriage but gets publicly humiliated when this happened. So this girl, her name is Tola, she's 28, earns enough for her to be comfortable but spend most of her money settling family bills. She's dating this guy, Segun, casually. She's not willing to be in any committed relationship because she has been heartbroken severally. Tola's father dies, leaving her completely stranded and worrying about more bill. Now her boss, his name is Kunle, and this man is so rich. Although he is married, he has been asking her out for a while now. This man sees Tola crying at work and he starts being extra nice to her, offers to help her with the funeral arrangement, and even shows up to the burial in her hometown. The CEO of the company is traveling to a village for his employee's father's funeral. Interesting. Tola is thinking, this man is so kind, he's so caring, and she's vulnerable and she's grieving. Then, here's this rich man treating her like she's important. This girl does not realize she's walking straight into a trap. Kunle starts calling her for late night strategy sessions in his office. That's when they start getting close. They talk about everything aside from work. He tells her his marriage is dead, that his wife Bisola doesn't understand him, that Tola makes him feel alive again. 6 months after her father's death, they both go to the hotel for a client's meeting, but the client doesn't show up, which leaves only 2 of them there. He starts telling her that he is no longer in love with his wife and he's tired of his marriage. They talk for hours, and that night they ended up at his penthouse. And Tola gives him everything, not just her body, but her heart and her future. The affair becomes their routine. He tells his wife he's traveling for business trip, but end up going on trips with Tola. And this man is promising her heaven and earth. He's saying he will leave Bisola once their last child finishes secondary school, just 2 more years. He keeps saying, just give me 2 years and we will be free to love openly. Tola believes every single word that comes out of his mouth because she is so lucky that this wealthy, successful man chose her over his wife. She's enjoying all the attention until, you guys, she misses her period for 6 whole months and she finds out that she is pregnant. She tells Kunle thinking he will be happy about the news, but this man totally changed. He calls her a prostitute and says she wants to scatter his marriage. He tells her the child is not his own. He says he knows she was sleeping with Segun when they started having their affair, so she should go and meet the real father of the child in her stomach. Just like that, this man who claimed to love her is denying their child and cutting her off. She's so sure the baby is for Kunle. She has always used protection with Segun and hasn't even been with Segun since she started seeing Kunle, but Kunle made his choice. He changed his phone number, he refuses her call and sends cold messages through his assistant. Tola is pregnant and completely alone. For you guys, the pregnancy is showing her serious shaggy. Her morning sickness is severe. She is so worried about being a single mother with no support at all. The stress starts affecting her work. She keeps coming late to work, missing deadline. Her colleague starts gossiping about her, and her supervisor is starting to query her while her financial pressure is getting to her. She is juggling her personal bills and caring for her sick mother. I'm so sorry. What Tola doesn't know is that Kunle's wife Bisola has been suspicious for months. This woman has hired a private investigator who documented everything. All the hotel visits, romantic messages, and even photos of them together at restaurants. Bisola has been waiting for the perfect time, and now she's about to find out about the pregnancy. Then comes the day that changes everything. Tola is 6 months pregnant, sitting at the desk trying to focus on some campaigns when Bisola storms into the office. This woman has all the evidence, the screenshots, photos. She's displaying them to everyone to see. She's screaming about Tola carrying her husband's bastard child, and the entire office stops to watch the drama unfold. Tola tries to maintain some dignity, but she breaks down crying in front of all her colleagues. She feels so humiliated. Kunle arrives, and instead of taking responsibility, this coward denies everything and actually calls security on his own wife. Kunle gets demoted to the regional manager, but Tola gets the worst punishment. They transfer her to a smaller branch, which everyone knows is where career go to die. She receives a letter from Kunle's assistant a few days later, warning her against any harassment or defamation. This man who promised her a future is now threatening her with lawyers. Tola goes into labor in a small apartment a few months later. Her mother couldn't afford to be with her, so it's just her neighbor who rushes her to the hospital. She had a child without family or any support at all. She feels completely alone. But something happens during those long hours of labor pain. As Tola is pushing her daughter into this world, she makes a decision that changes everything. She's not going to call Kunle about the bet. She's not going to beg him for recognition or support. She's done chasing a man who has no regards for her. She feels a love that she has never felt for anyone when they placed the baby in her arm. Her baby is so beautiful and she thinks she was worth it. She made up her mind that she was going to be strong. Her baby was a reminder of her own strength. She survived betrayal, public humiliation, financial hardship, and abandonment. She brought this beautiful baby into the world against all odds. And she is going to raise her with dignity. The girl who used to send desperate messages to a man who didn't want her is gone. In her place is a mother who knows her worth. Tola applies for single mother support programs, start a small jewelry business selling on Instagram, and discover that she doesn't need Kunle to survive. She lands a major client at the new branch through her own effort and skills. 2 years later, she bumps into Kunle at the store. This man looks older, stressed, and probably still trapped in that marriage of his that he complained about. He asks about the child, tries to reconnect, maybe guilt is finally eating him up. Tola doesn't feel anything for him, not even anger or hurt. She is completely indifferent and has spent the past year working and raising her child. She declines his invitation for dinner and walks away while carrying her child. The affair that nearly destroyed her became the catalyst for discovering who she really was. Here is what every woman needs to understand about situations like this. When a married man tells you he's going to leave his wife, he's lying. When he says you are special and different from the others, you are not. When he promises you a future while hiding you from his present, he's using you. Don't wait for him to choose you. Choose yourself, baby girl. Thank you.